Okay.
What's the best Velvet Underground album?
Oh!
You know, I'll give you a chance to talk about that, like one of the best bands ever. So Velvet Underground, for anyone who doesn't know, was a New York-based, they were a very New York sound band from 1967 to 70. They released 4 albums, one a year. One of the best careers in music.
Yeah.
They changed from being, in the beginning, sort of art rockers.
Andy Warhol cohorts.
To proto-metal, proto-punk, sort of noise monsters on White Light Heat. Then they became more gentle and
adult-orientated rock.
Adult-orientated rock on Velvet Underground, and then they went completely into doing perfect pop music on Loaded. We're going to ignore, for the purpose of this, the Doug Yule years because they're just an abomination. Yes, so out of the 4 albums, Velvet Underground and Nico, White Light Heat, Velvet Underground, and Loaded, which is the best. I actually think, controversially, they get better with each album. So my favourite is Loaded, but I think each one is like a little bit better than the last one. They would literally be like, the top 4 would be just the descending order of when they came out. So, what do you... A lot of people would say Velvet Underground and Nico, but what do you think?
Well, I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think Loaded's actually the weakest. Loaded's got some of the best Velvet Underground songs, but it's got a couple duds, I think.
I love all of it. I think it's great. All 10 tracks.
No, I think there's a couple duds.
Yeah.
The peaks are amazing. It's the best. But I think I don't think they've got the same. The songs, in my opinion, don't have the same power as the ones on White Light Heat or the Velvet Underground. After that, I think the third weakest is Velvet Underground and Nico.
Yeah.
And then probably Velvet Underground. And I'm gonna say White Light Heat is the best one.
White Light Heat.
Because it sums up everything that Velvet Underground stood for.
Yeah.
Audacious, experimental, in your face, abrasive, yet oddly listenable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oddly melodic.
Yeah.
They had melodies to them, but for me, White Light Heat sums up everything that the Velvet Underground should be.
Yeah.
And what they used to represent. So you know, you've got songs like The Gift, which is just fucking bizarre. It's a weird jam put to this bizarre song. This bizarre story that I think Doug Yule reads out. Actually, a story written by Lou Reed back in the day.
Yeah.
You've got the actual title track, White Light Heat, which is like a fucked up version of like an R&B song.
Yeah.
And then you caps it off with Sister Ray.
That is probably, I think, their like definitive song.
Yeah.
It's not their best song, I think, but I think it's the definitive one.
Yeah. 17 minutes of just in-your-face experimental music, playing the same 3 chords, and the best bit, which gives me chills, it's when I think it's Doug Yule playing keyboards, and they're going at it, like Lou Reed is clearly having a battle with him and the other guitarist, and Maureen Tucker on the drums, and then Doug Yule like turns the volume up on his keyboard and blasts out these amazing keyboard chords, and I get chills talking about it.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are about this bizarre.
Isn't it a sailor who kills a bunch of prostitutes?
I think no, it's about an orgy.
Oh, right.
It's about an orgy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty manly, pretty Lou Reedy.
Pretty Lou Reedy. An orgy, presumably in the factory. But it's Velvet Underground escaping the shadow of Andy Warhol and becoming kind of their own thing. Even on Velvet Underground's first album, it says in big letters Andy Warhol, and they were kind of seen as being part of his cavalcade of factory weirdos and freaks. But this is the album where Lou Reed and Doug John Cale.
John Cale.
That's it. Oh God.
Yeah.
And John Cale really kind of stamp out their mission statement on what the Velvet Underground should be.
Yeah.
So then after that, John Cale left.
Yeah.
And he was seen as bringing a lot of the more experimental side to the band.
Yeah.
And Lou Reed was more like pop orientated.
Yeah.
So that explains the big change on.
He wrote for the Brill Building for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, you say?
That explains the big change on the next album.
Yeah.
Which you can all agree is, that'll make it your second favourite.
Yes, it would be my first if it wasn't for that fucking song Murder Mister.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But see, like I like that song because it's in keeping with the mission statement of White Light Heat.
Yeah.
Extreme and experimental.
Yeah.
It is. I like it. I like how it kind of weird and disorientating it is. We can both agree that's both our second favourite
Yes.
Velvet Underground album, but it explains the huge shift in the genre style of music because we got Doug Yule, who was a more straight person.
Yeah.
In contrast to Lou Reed and John Cale.
Straight as in like mainstream music as things. We're not trying to give any kind of sort of his sexuality or anything.
No, we don't know anything. All we know is that Lou Reed was a very transgressive kind of guy.
Yes.
But on that album, also, because apparently I think this is where their instruments were stolen or something got destroyed.
Yeah.
Or something happened to their like guitars. I think Lou Reed's guitar might have been stolen or something or whatever. I know that happened with Sonic Youth, but I think it happened with Velvet Underground. And that explains the move towards kind of slower, more melodic, more atmospheric songs.
I think this has their best song on it, which is not Candy Says, Pale Blue Eyes.
Pale Blue Eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this album actually has the biggest influence on music out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because I think it influences sort of shoegaze music and alternative rock from now. I think it's maybe White Like White Heat has the more biggest influence because of like punk and metal. But I mean, this one has the biggest influence on music now. There's a lot of music. More indie music. Yeah, it's slow. It's all whispered vocals and it's so gentle and like. But the lyrics still have like the edge of the early one. Like Candy Says is about someone with an eating disorder. It's like I hate my body and like
Candy Says I hate my body.
all the things it demands of me. Yeah. And you've got that, and like Pale Blue Eyes is about an affair Lou Reed had with an older woman, and you've still got this sort of edge, and
I like the song at the end as well, where it's Maureen Tucker singing. If you close the door, I'll never see you again. It's got this really weak little sound, but it almost anticipates like indie female singers.
Yeah.
So we all sing like Maureen Tucker now. That kind of almost like a squeaky vocal. I don't know how to describe it. It's a really nice song at the end of that album. But it's interesting that like the most critically acclaimed one, which is the first one, which is one that a lot of people haven't really. Well, it's one that most people listen to. A lot of people actually don't listen to the rest of the albums.
No.
They listen to that first one and then that's it. Now I love the first album. It's an absolute bona fide classic and deserved of its status. If only for stuff like Heroin. And what's that song called? Shiny boots of leather. Venus in Furs.
Venus in Furs,
And the Black Angels Death song. But yeah, what do you think of the debut album?
I think it's really good. I think it's got some great songs on. I think it's just a bit inconsistent. Like it's got like the first side is great. You've got Sunday Morning. Sunday Morning's great, and Waiting for the Man's a classic.
I'm waiting for my man.
Venus in Furs is, I think up until Heroin it just builds and builds and builds. Then it's sort of a bit of a damp squib. It's got that song which like goes and it's just that awful guitar like for 8 minutes going like But yeah, I just think like it's a really good album and it's obviously important, but I just don't think it's.
Heroin is one of the best Velvet Underground songs.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones. Yeah, it's really good. And like when I was a kid, that were like the song that got me into sort of the Velvet Underground.
Same for me, yeah. Like when I first heard that song, I'd never heard someone singing about heroin or drugs.
And
at least not in the way that Lou Reed was singing it. Like he sung it almost like it was enticing and dangerous, and you could almost understand why he took it. It's just amazing, like when I put a spike into my veins and I feel just like Jesus' son. You're like, fucking hell. I mean, as the music speeds up and the distortion gets louder and louder and louder, it kind of builds up to this amazing climax. And it's a brilliant song.
That's a brilliant song, and like it's just like it is a really good album. It's like all of these are 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Even you'd say Loaded, which is your leakers, would be a 10, wouldn't you?
9.
A 9, it's great.
It's a 9 out of 10 album because it's got a couple of weaker songs.
I don't think.
In my opinion, though it does have Rock and Roll and Sweet Jane
and Sweet Nothing.
Oh, Sweet Nothing, yeah. Well, the first two are two of the best pop songs of all time, easily. Especially Sweet Jane.
The song before that is Who Loves the Sun.
Oh yeah.
That's alright.
It's alright.
That's the weakest song in the album. I think that one's great. It's got those two. It's got Sweet Jane. It's got Rock and Roll. It's got Sweet Nothing. It's also got I Found a Reason, which is amazing. I found a reason to keep living.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I think every song on there is really good. I think it's even Cowboy Bill.
Yeah, I think that's one that comes to mind. But yeah, there's just a couple that come to mind which I don't enjoy as much as the others.
Yeah.
They're still really good songs, but I don't think they're as strong as the rest of the album. While at least with something like White Light, White Heat, we were going for something more experimental. So even The Gift, which is a bit of a failed experiment. It's still an experiment, and it's extreme in its nature.
Yeah.
And it works within the confines of what they were doing.
Yeah.
But the White Light, White Heat is my favourite one.
Yes. Would you say the Velvet Underground are the most consistent band ever?
Based on 4 albums, probably.
Well, they're fucking squeezed though, isn't it?
They're not really consistent because the style keeps changing with each
album.
album.
No, but consistent as in
quality.
all great, yes.
Yeah, quality levels. Probably.
Yeah.
Given that they only had, well, basically 4 albums because no one can't Squeeze.
No.
Big Squeeze has been decanonised now.
Well, technically, if it hasn't got any of the original members in, how can it... Oh, is Maureen Tucker on it?
No, Maureen Tucker's not on it.
She's not on Loaded either, though, I don't think. She was pregnant at the time.
But even Lou Reed wasn't really involved in Loaded.
I thought he wrote the songs.
No, but that was it.
Yeah.
He wrote the songs and recorded vocals for, like, 4 out of 10 songs, and then Doug Yule did the rest.
Yeah.
So even Lou Reed's not really involved in Loaded.
No.
He basically, the record company Atlantic told him, we want an album full of hits.
Yeah.
And Lou was like, okay. So he wrote 10 songs, he recorded 3 or 4 of the songs and gave the rest to Doug Yule. Was like, right, you're doing the rest.
Yeah.
And he departed and got a job at his dad's office doing admin work.
Yeah.
Fucking bizarre.
That is weird.
But yeah, no, so Lou Reed's not really involved in Loaded at all.
Hey, that's weird.
Yeah.
Still my favourite, it's just a weird thing. But yeah, would you say they're the best band ever? I think they're the most influential band ever.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say best
I
band
think they're
ever.
best.
No.
No, I don't think they're the best.
But they're definitely, I think, the most influential one.
If you want like a continuation, then you just kind of follow Lou Reed's solo career.
Yeah.
Which gets weird and bizarre.
Yeah. I think every single one of these albums is better than anything Lou Reed's solo career's ever done. Even like Berlin and...
Berlin matches it, I think.
Yeah.
Berlin matches it. Especially in terms of the extreme nature of the subject matter.
Yeah.
I don't think any album is as frank or as open or as like depressing as Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's no song on the Velvet Underground where it's got 3 minutes of children crying in the background looking for their mother.
No.
Or like one song where it's like, this is the place where we made our kids. And like he sings about like slitting her wrists and stuff, and it's like, fucking hell. It's extreme.
It is extreme. Yes, but yeah, Velvet Underground, amazing band. Bit of a different opinion. What's your favourite Velvet Underground album?